And good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning to you. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. And this is what I call my morning musings. I'm sharing several cups of coffee here with you and looking into the Word of God. We are involved in a study of the eschatology of Thessalonians, both 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. We're heading toward 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Which is the key text that is used by my dispensational friends to predict a future rapture. It is used by both amillennial and postmillennial commentators to speak of a future end of time coming of the Lord. But I'm convinced it has nothing to do with either one of those concepts. So what we're doing is we're looking at Paul's teaching about the coming of the Lord prior to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and then after that to see if there's any kind of consistency, to look at the linguistics that he uses, the distinctive Greek words, to see the motives, the themes, the subjects that he uses as he discusses the day of the Lord prior to 1 Thessalonians 4, after 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. What we've seen thus far is that Paul consistently, absolutely consistently, refers to the impending judgment of Old Covenant Jerusalem for persecuting the saints, the related themes, topics, and motifs that are linked to that in both Old Testament and in other New Testament passages, and thus the question is raised. If Paul, in all other references to the day of the Lord, the coming of the Lord, the gathering, etc., etc., if in all other references in 1st and 2nd Thessalonians refers to the AD 70 judgment coming, then upon what basis do we divorce 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 from that discussion? Now, question, is it possible that Paul discusses something different in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4? Well, of course it's possible. However, we would need some really, really good contextual, perhaps grammatical, perhaps linguistic indication that Paul is radically changing his discussion. And there is no such indication. There is harmonious contextual flow, as we will see as we continue. Okay, we're in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. The last two segments I've shared with you about this fascinating Greek word, episynagoge. Now here's something that I want to go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Where Paul says, "This I say to you by the word of the Lord." In other words, Paul is saying, as most commentators agree, we have a choice here. What did Paul mean, "This I say to you by the word of the Lord"? Well, most commentators believe Paul's saying, I'm reminding you of what Jesus said when he was with us. Others say, well, he's talking about, this I'm saying to you by inspiration. That's true, but it can be a conflation of both ideas. Here's what I want you to consider. I shared with you that the Greek word episynagoge in Matthew 23:37 cannot refer to a physical gathering. How often would I have gathered you, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, unto me, but you would not. Not geographical, not spatial. As a result of their refusal to be gathered to him into covenant fellowship, he would destroy the old covenant gathering place, the old covenantal gathering. And in Matthew chapter 24, 30 and 31, at his coming, he would send forth the angels and they would gather together the elect. Episynagoge. Now here's what's critical. Here's what's critical. This is what I want to clarify from the previous installment. Matthew 24:31, the sending forth of the angels at the sound of a great trumpet, is taken absolutely from Isaiah 27, verse 13. Isaiah 27:13 talks about the salvation of Israel that would occur at the time of the destruction of Jerusalem and the destruction of the temple and altar. Isaiah 27, 10 and 11, when Yahweh would no longer have mercy on the people that he had created. Same verses. And here's the kicker. that would be, quote, in that day in which Leviathan, the great serpent, would be destroyed, and that would be in that day of the coming of the Lord to avenge the blood of the martyrs, Isaiah 26, 19 and 20, which would be in that day of the resurrection of Isaiah 26, 19. Do you follow the flow here? So Isaiah 26 talks about the resurrection at the time of the coming of the Lord to avenge the blood of the martyrs, when Satan would be destroyed, but that would be at the time of the judgment of Israel. It would be the time of the sounding of the great trumpet for the resurrection. Here is Jesus in Matthew chapter 24 predicting the destruction of Jerusalem and the salvation of Israel at the sounding of the great trumpet of Isaiah 27. But that sounding of the great trumpet would be what? At the time of the episynagoge. And Paul, who said he was reminding the Thessalonians of what Jesus had said, uses that distinctive Greek word, episynagoge. Where did Jesus ever use the word episynagoge to refer to the gathering at the coming of the Lord? Matthew 24:31. So if Paul was reiterating or echoing Matthew 24:31 in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, then since Jesus in Matthew 24:31 was echoing Isaiah, or quoting Isaiah 27:13, which is a resurrection text, you know what that means? It means 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 is resurrection. And if 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 is resurrection, then it's the same as 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. If not, where is the delineation? Because 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 is the resurrection at the parousia. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 is the gathering, the episynagoge, the resurrection at the parousia. Beautiful harmony. Absolutely beautiful harmony. Don't forget, I'm making a really special offer. I cover all of this in my book, We Shall Meet Him in the Air, The Wedding of the King of Kings. And if you order this book, order this one also, In Flaming Fire, which is an exegesis of 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. If you order both books, you'll be charged for both books, but mention that you saw the offer on YouTube and Facebook. I'll refund the price of this, and I'll refund your shipping. Save you $10. Hey, yeah, we've got more, and it's fantastic stuff. Thanks for joining me. You have a fantastic weekend. Lord willing, we'll see you back on Monday.